Hey, it's me, Rand. Tom just had to reboot his computer, but I didn't want to start late. So I'm going to just kind of vamp a little bit and talk about how exciting it was yesterday in Hoboken that, during a during a live stream. Oh, look at my green earbud wires are green screened. Hilarious. Right in the middle of a live stream, I have a power outage in my apartment. I'm not in Texas. We had some transformer issues in Hoboken. And actually, one of my neighbors here, Rachel, who I don't know, posted on this amazing video on Twitter. And just because it's so entertaining, I'm just going to show you. So we had that one power outage, and Tom did a little cha-cha-cha while I was gone, and then the power came back, and we assumed that the power was going to pay. My wife Lisa was like, "Yeah, it's going to go out again," but and guess what? It did. But check out this. Let's see if I can get this. What am I doing? I'm going to do this. Get ready. All right. So here's Rachel's video. My neighbor Rachel, who I don't know, and that is a fire transformer on the corner, and then the transformer has exploded, and then that was it. So just in case, nobody needs to see my Twitter. Yeah, so that was oh man, stop that screen. Why is it so noisy still? Oh, it's exhausting me. All right. Okay, that's better. So that was my night last night, and we were out for like a little more than an hour. Still wondering where Tom is. He had to reboot his machine because there was a problem with, like, I could hear him, but I couldn't see him. No, I could see him, but he was frozen. So it was like Tom was like this in middle of talking to me, and then but I could talk to him, and I was like, yeah, dude, you're frozen. So yeah, I know, right, Ruben? I mean, that was incredible. One explosion, and then another huge one, and my neighbor, who I don't know, Rachel, posted that on Twitter. Incredible. So yeah, so we're hopefully Tom will come back and join me in this fantastic effort to make our way through these comic books, the Jack Kirby world of these comics that he drew but did not write. So that's, there for me, I don't know if you caught, like, even Lisa and the other ones, after I was done, Lisa's like, you don't really like those comics, do you? And I'm like, yeah, it's like Jack's an art robot. Nobody wants Jack Kirby to be an art robot. Like, here, draw my fantastic story, panel 1. Nobody wants Jack. So anyhow, that's what those comics were. What happened to Tom? I'm going to check my text messages and see what's going on, because I would have thought that him rebooting his computer would have been have gone a lot faster than how long it's gone. So Tom is gone, and I know it's the Avenger. Oh, here he comes. Dun, dun, dun.
That was weird. Computer crashed.
Wow, it took a long time. He was like, he's going to reboot. I'm like, huh? Why did it take so long? Okay.
Because it wouldn't reboot, and then all of a sudden the whole thing crashed, and then
wow.
It was weird. Something to do with the camera, I think.
Are you on Big Sur, the latest update, Big Sur?
I am.
All right. Well, please send in a ticket.
Are we live?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we're live. We're live. Hi, everybody. Tom's here.
Sorry.
I had to push the button. I was like looking at the clock, and I'm like, I have to push the button.
No, I figured you would. I hope you would. Thanks, Ruben.
So,
it seems like 2 days of technical difficulties. This Justice Inc. must be like jinxed or something.
It's the Avenger. I'm telling you.
Yeah. He molded his face in that That's what
Yes.
caused it to happen.
I have somebody else's face. I don't know. It's weird. All right. So, I shared too soon because I gotta skip ahead to all the. We'll go through all the stuff. Blah blah. Hi, I'm Rand Hoppy. I'm the executive director of the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center, and you are.
I am Tom Kraft. I am the president of the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center.
And we've been doing
located in dark Hoboken, New Jersey.
It was dark last night. 5,000 people without power. I shared the explosion video with everybody.
Oh, good.
I was vamping while we waited for you to come back, and that was pretty amazing. That my neighbor Rachel, who I don't know, posted that to Twitter, and that was pretty intense. I noticed like the second explosion happened, and she kind of like went behind the window a little bit.
You never know. You
never know what's going to come flying at you. You know, oh, it's the monster bug. Let's just keep going through.
We did most of this.
We did the whole thing.
The whole thing.
I remember the
flying out the window at the end.
It's like womp womp. He jumps out the window, and the story's over. Okay. I must attack Alan King smoking a cigar on a billboard, or something like that. I don't know. Okay, yeah, that's a nice.
That's a nice. That's a nice splash.
Yeah. And then the end. Next issue on sale. Okay.
That's where it all happened. And
then we move on to this next one, which I believe is an original story by Denny O'Neil. And the one thing of interest, I shrug, interest? No. One thing of interest about this story is that Jack did not pencil in the script on the photocopies. So I don't know how many we're going to show, but we do have, I think, most of them. And it's not lettered. Like Jack did not put the lettering in with his hand. He just drew the pictures because he's an art robot, finishing out his schedule, his contract. Before he went over to Marvel and did the incredible Mad Bomb in Captain America. Oh man, the Eternals, 2001, Black Panther.
What if he had started drawing like the first things in Marvel by now?
I don't know.
I wonder if they overlapped.
Yeah, would have been good to kind of look at that. Somebody asked us somewhere, I think, on our YouTube channel. So was he doing things at the same time? It's like I don't really know. And we are going out to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. Yeah. So we have an aggregated chat panel over here on our screens, Tom and I. So right now we're seeing comments from our friends on Facebook. Ruben and Lynn is back. Good to see you. And feel free to say hi. We love just, even if you just say hi, you guys, something. It's always nice. So,
not to quote him.
Yeah, don't. Anyhow, so here we are. We're on, right. It's an original story by Denny O'Neil with help from Paul Levitz. Arts by Jack Kirby, Mike Royer. Lettering by Mike Royer. Cool, blobby sleigh ride in the sky there, which is fun. I don't know what's happening in this story. I think I read it. He's on a plane.
I read it.
It's
okay.
It's okay. So you see, like, again, here's no script. It's just pictures. So the team is up in a plane, and there's trouble. Yeah.
I wonder how Mike received. He probably got it on a piece of paper, right? Typed out paper or handwritten paper.
Yep.
Panel 1, blah blah blah. Set the scene. Panel 2. Yeah.
After that thing last issue where. No, that was 2 issues ago. Yeah. No, when did the? Oh, hello from Chile. Hello. Good to see you. With that, he flicks a switch. Remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, I actually chose this because I like the big panels, the two lower tiers there. I just thought big panels, fun Jack Kirby art. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual that he did two wide panels.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
Yep.
So so they're flying, and the birds, they start homing in on this blimp. Or this it's a ocean liner airplane.
Okay. All right.
And they surround it, and of course, like in all the other issues, the Avenger happens to be in the right place at the right time.
Right. All right.
And they witness what happened, and basically the birds surrounded the plane, and all of a sudden there's this boom and fire, and went to the ground, and then all of a sudden the birds turn on them, and the same thing happens to them. Boom, explosion. But they're lucky, they get out in time.
Yikes. So there's a lot of, that whole plane goes down, and then their plane goes down, but they have parachutes. And then
the speedboat comes.
There's no rescuers.
And they're like shooting the floating survivors, like slaughtering them, killing them.
Yikes.
Why? Because they were told that the plane was going to land there, and they wanted to like savage or take all the jewelry or wallet or money out of the loot the dead people after they shoot them.
We had looting in the last issue too, right? And then
there's a pattern here, isn't there?
Yeah, there's something going on with the Avenger. He avenges looting. All right. Oh, and then of course Josh does his weird Stephen Fetchit thing and minstrel show. And then he creases his skull. Fut. Right.
But there's one survivor left, and they hold him back and try to figure out why they're doing this kind of thing.
Okay.
And they basically say, "Well, I'm just like a pawn, and They just told us the plane was going to land here, and we were given the right to, take it whatever we want from the dead passengers."
Great. All right.
Very positive.
Yeah. All right. Oh, and then we're back with Fergus McMurdy, the chemist.
Yep.
And he has solved the problem.
He always does.
Yeah. He figured something out. What brought down the plane? And it was something brought out.
It was a substance.
Yeah. Okay. So, and they're on the move, and they go over to that Olympia laboratories.
That's where the substance is made. So
yeah.
They've been, so they trail. I don't see the name of it there. I don't remember. Some weird name, but anyway.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Mr. Lynn, Jason Lynn, the Olympia lab owner. And he's upset that he's been barged in.
There it is. I think it's a tribelium or something like that.
The stuff. Yeah, tintinabulum.
Tintinabulum. Tintabulum.
I have tinnitus, but how does that relate? I don't know.
Is that on the periodic table?
All right. Up there's Boyd's. Watch out, more Boyd's.
And he's kind of innocent. So he says that basically he's been giving small quantities out for research.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, I see that. Okay.
He's innocent to this whole thing, and then they say a bird's coming, and they're like, "Oh, it's just a harmless bird."
Yeah.
And boom.
Yeah.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead.
And Smitty and Richard and Smitty, of course, is the strong guy, so he can lift them up, lift the rocks up, and then, of course, Richard decides to do his thing, and he becomes.
It's interesting in the last panel. In this case, he didn't have his makeup. It doesn't show him putting makeup on. Doesn't show him putting on a wig, and all of a sudden he's doing something with his face.
Well, there's a little bit of finger touching the face there in that second to last panel, though, right here.
Yeah, but where's the makeup? He usually puts the makeup
coloring.
on.
The coloring is always whacked out, right? Yeah. Okay. So then what? Okay, they're on the move.
Yep. they confront this guy, and apparently he knew that they were going to be coming because the secretary of the other guy was like a spy. The woman was a spy.
Yes.
And let him know that he was coming.
He knew it was Richard Benson, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, that's it. And that's why he puts his hand on his face and goes like that.
His hands just sink into it.
Right into that. Yeah. Okay. And then
they're all tied up.
All tied up again.
And they're put on this blimp because this was whatever his name is.
Who is this?
Jason
Rufus? No, Rufus Combe.
Rufus Combe. So he's planning his last adventure with the birds.
Oh.
And afterwards, he's got a plane inside the blimp. He's just going to leave. And he's going to go to Mexico and live like a king.
Gosh, what a life.
Putty face. Like that.
Yeah. Putty face. So then my airline was going broke. I'm collecting insurance money. All right.
Yeah, that's why he owns the airline that they shot down the plane and everything, or the birds blew up the plane and everything. And they wonder, why is he doing that? For insurance money. Because the company's tanking.
And then still it's like, again, yet another, like, I'm tied up with my compatriot. Maybe he can grab my knife or save me, right? Didn't we see that in the last two issues?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. So that's another.
You're right.
Like, well, maybe if you reach into my front pocket, you can grab my knife. Okay. But Smitty's like, no, but your knife can't cut these chains. No, but the blade can slit part of the balloon I'm bound to, and then I'm loose. Oh man. Okay. Fight.
Then they fight. Here, you take my knife.
Yes, dirigible fight. Do your own cutting. Yeah. I mean,
he's overwhelmed. Of course, Smitty comes and saves him yet again.
Yeah.
Seems like his only superpowers is putty face.
And jumping onto the wing of a biplane like that.
Yes, of course.
Which is, that's highly.
Yeah, because he was taking off to, he realized that it says right there, "You're a coward." No, I know when I'm going to be defeated, so I'm retreating. I know when to retreat.
Yes. So. Oh, hello. Again, the pencils without any script added. Looks great, right? In a way,
Yeah.
And then land, or one of us will die. It's you. You'll die, Avenger.
Of course. Another one of the two wide panels at the end.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because he wasn't putting the words in, and he just, I don't know.
Yeah. Might have, the script probably said that this was a 4-panel page.
It might. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And then Smitty's still duking it out on the dirigible, and then there's Boyd's. Uh-oh.
Yeah, because what happens is he falls back after he got punched, and the way the birds work is there's a radio signal that gets emitted, and they can point it supposedly at whatever they want.
Right.
So he hit it, and now the birds are coming after them.
Yeah. Okay. Then what? Oh, the dirigible is dropping and flaming with Smitty inside.
Yes.
What to do?
So, he knocks him out. The gangster. He's in the back, and then he has to tip the plane in order to pick up Smitty. And in doing so, the gangster didn't have his seatbelt on, so he flies into the dirigible.
Okay.
Not a safe place to be.
What?
That's the end, I think. That's how it ends. You look flabbergasted. See at the bottom, that little cutout, that was going to be the
That's right. That was going to be... find the next issue. I think even Richard Kolkman from the
Yeah, he
the
mentioned it.
checklist said something about that, and it's just
Yeah.
you can see that there was clearly a meant to be get the next issue, but wow, every story just kind of ends with somebody falling, and then it's like mission accomplished.
Falling to their death.
They're falling to their death because that's how they were in the pulps, and we love the old pulps for that. I guess.
Somebody's got to die.
I guess.
And it ain't the Avenger.
Well, no.
So we leave the lovely series of Justice Inc. and we move on.
We do. We head to
not necessarily to better things, but just other things.
No, it's just other things. Let's go full screen on this one. All right, it's because it is a
mega side
by side. So we've got our Jack's pencils photocopied in his house, and then delivered to D. Bruce Berry for inking and lettering.
So one would think that since Mike came back at the very end and replaced D. Bruce Berry, that this happened before Justice Inc.
Right.
I don't know about the X number, but it
most likely. Well, there aren't X numbers. They're O numbers and K numbers. And
okay.
Different editor, right? Denny O'Neil editor. So, yeah, and it's not. Whatever, So
this is like during the 75, 76? I don't know if this
75. Yeah.
75. So when did like Kung Fu come out? Remember that?
Oh, the TV show?
Must have been around that time, right? So
yeah,
I think I just remember being a kid in the mid 70s and Kung Fu fighting and that song in the 70s. Everything was all about like Kung Fu and
it was, the big Bruce Lee movie Enter the Dragon was like 1973. Yep. Right. Kung Fu, Carradine. When the hell did that happen? I don't even know.
76. That's
72. That was
72. Was that old?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it had been out for a while.
I was only like 11.
And this, isn't it? If I remember, I apologize, everybody. I didn't do my due diligence here, but I believe that Jim Dennis and Denny O'Neil are the same person. So I think Denny O'Neil had a novel series of kung fu novels. Let's just, I'll do it as we're here. But I think it was Denny O'Neil was his pen name. Look it up as we, because it's just that. Then it's Kung Fu. I don't even know. Oh, is a pen name for co-authors. Somebody says. Oh, yeah, Denny O'Neil and a friend were Jim Dennis. So. Okay, so he got DC to publish. He was a DC writer and editor, and he got DC to license his kung fu novels into a comic book. And this is what, issue 3, 2? I don't remember.
It's issue 1. No.
No.
Oh, it says at the top 4.
Really?
Yeah, 4. It's weird that Jack got thrown into these weird places.
Yeah.
Like Justice Inc. started on number
2, yeah. No, this is issue number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's take a look at this fantastic story. And
tell us what you really think.
So it's it's just. I forget. There's fighting. Okay. And the life of he's fighting for himself and for Carolyn against the evil Swiss. So I guess the bad guy is the Swiss.
That is so weird to me that Swiss people are considered bad guys. I've never heard of that.
It's just like a weird, it's a guy, I think, who's the Swiss or his people. I don't know. It's
No,
not,
they're all Swiss.
they're all Swiss, but like,
Yeah.
so here's some pencils by Jack, page 2. It's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you know. I don't know. Kind of not great Deep Gooseberry inks.
No, I was gonna say I think I don't like the inks that much. I
On
mean,
this story at all, really.
yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad. I
And
mean,
Mike,
sometimes it's really fun and great, but this one,
yeah,
it seems pretty not great.
it's just too light. I mean, it's too he used too much pen.
Yeah.
Mike would have been probably better at that. But
Yeah. All right. Thanks, John, on Facebook. And yep. All right. So let's keep going here. And this was how it was published. So yeah, it just looks a little weak. But there's a fight. And then what?
looks like what's her name? Carol runs away,
Carolyn runs. He tells her to run into the stormy night,
which was a mistake. But go ahead.
It's like I've got to take care of this stuff. Carolyn's out of danger. She heads out, and she walks right into
Mr. Swiss.
Mr. Swiss. And then
what's his name? His name is
I don't know.
I don't think he has a name, but anyway, maybe he does.
She bites him. Richard Dragon hears him, hears her, and runs out to see what he can do. Uh-oh.
And of course, these I don't know what you call martial art people are just happen to be hanging out there, and they want to show that they're better than he is, and of course they know he's somehow a kung fu fighter,
right?
And they're very inexperienced, but they prevent him from making it to save Carol.
Yes, that's right. Don't they realize they're talking to the dragon? All right. There's a little bit of
They're
action.
from something karate school.
Yeah, the karate. Wang Chung. Did it say
Wang Chung?
No, it's Wang Chang.
Wang Chains.
So it's not. They're not. But Richard Dragon is Wang Chunging right now. So he makes it. He shows them some gentle forms because they're ignorant and unlearned. And he uses judo, and he thinks judo, but then he says aikido. So I don't know what's going on. This guy's claiming
maybe it seems like it's a form of judo called whatever that is.
Yeah, aikido. Sure.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
No, it's a thing, but like I just find it funny that it's like he's thinking, and then he speaks. And he's thinking again. There's all kinds of thinking, and he failed. He was not able to stop the driving away. So then
because the car was driving away all of a sudden at 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's taking off. He's still able to hopefully grab onto the door there, but no good.
No, that doesn't work. No good.
Yeah,
I failed.
But then it's behind that door in a junky neighborhood is a luxurious space, and there's Richard's pal Ben. And Ben's
why is he on crutches?
Ben got shot in the leg last issue or something, or recently. So, oh boy. So then there's he's got a letter, and he's been invited to Thunder Rock Winery. Oh boy. Okay. So now he's gonna go, and he tells Ben, don't disturb me for an hour. I'm gonna go in here and do this, and then he
goes and does it.
He goes and does it. I don't know what he's up to. He
flashes back.
He's got some flashback stuff. I have this jade claw.
Jade. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And then he's back in the present.
Ah, thank goodness. Yeah. And then the abandoned winery, and everybody's there. Guess what? You're getting bow sticks, nunchakus.
They're going through all the different types of weapons that they're.
Yes. the scythe and mace connected by a heavy chain. You need to take on Richard Dragon. Okay. They're all like, yeah, all right. What is your quarrel with him? Yeah, he annoys me. He interfered in my business. Yeah.
That guy's a Swiss in the white.
Yeah. And then he's got a cameraman.
Yeah, which is kind of bizarre, but it's just
like, what the heck?
Right.
So, hey, fellas, Mr. Shabby, it's me, Mr. Shabby, your friendly cameraman. All right. And then Carolyn's there. Oh boy! And then of course release.
Tied up.
Oh, we have a. Yeah, and I chose this one just because of the cool full tier bottom there.
Man, he definitely didn't do a good job on the inks. It's just
I agree. Yeah. Okay, Dragon, you're free to leave the moment you win. Okay, I will beat your henchmen. I mean, it's okay, here we go. Time to. He's got his jade claw, and he's ready.
He's holding it. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and he's calling on a mystical wraith, the specter of the beast, and then it happens. Oh, staffs.
Middle panel is great. I've seen that pose, and Captain America does a bunch of that stuff.
Sure, yeah. He takes those two guys out with their staffs. They're gone. Yep. And what was his name? He's getting that. Mr. Shabby is getting his footage. Now it's nunchaku time.
The Swiss?
No, the cameraman, Mr. Shabby. Right? And then nunchakus, that's trouble. But wait, he's got to reload. Don't kill him. Don't kill him. I've got to put more film in the camera.
I know. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, let's put that over there. Yeah. So, yeah, Steven Seagal is an Aikido guy. Right on. So then what? Okay, so the nunchaku guys are gone. Okay, 10 seconds, 4 casualties.
Yeah, he's got to defeat them all in a minute or something like that. And this is the last guy left.
Yeah, he's got the
and he hurts his arm.
He's got the axe with the mace on a chain. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fight. Up. You're right. He hit him got him in the arm.
Of course, that thrills the Swiss guy.
Yeah. It doesn't look good. Okay. Still more. Oh, he's able to knock him out and knock out the cameraman, and then ooh, eek.
The cameraman falls
on the scythe. Fantastic.
Yep. Oh well, no more filming for you.
Hey, Mr. Shabby. All right. So then, ow. This guy's still around. I am the dragon. I am not human. I'm the dragon. Okay. And he takes him out. And then it's like, okay. And then, oh, no, the Swiss presses a button.
Yep.
Thank God he doesn't flick a switch. Sorry. Napalm. Oh gosh. Right. So we didn't see Carolyn at all. Where did we last see her? There she is.
Yeah, but we assumed that she was taken by the Swiss guy.
Right. So there's been right. So
unless she died in the fire, but they don't say that.
I don't know. Tune in next issue. Time to be a whirlwind, but it's not by Jack Kirby, so we're not gonna.
So it actually continued the story, I assume.
I think there was another issue or so. Yeah. And that's it. Okay. So yeah, man, that was pretty rough though. So there it was. We made it. No power outages.
And no faulty camera crashing my system.
Yeah, no crash. I didn't. So that's those stories that Jack did to work out his deal with DC. Number of pages a month of art, but somehow got it to number of pages of art and not just no writing. We've almost covered it all, but the good news the good news is that Tom and I are going to take a look at Sandman next week. A week from tonight, we'll take a look at the Sandman comics. Again, comics that Jack Kirby did not write. Joe Simon wrote the first one, I believe. And
are we going to do the unpublished one that ended up in the?
Yeah.
Good. There's like 6 of them then, right?
No.
How many are there?
I think there's only 3 or 4.
Okay.
Because I think there were six or I think the Santa Claus thing was supposed to be issue 6, but it never got published. But Kirby did not draw all 6 of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So no, we're not going to do 6 issues. Then we got Hour 2, and then Blob. Oh, yeah.
What?
The Blob. There's a Blob character called the Blob in the Sandman comics. Anyway.
I haven't read them in 20 years or whatever, so I'm gonna have to reread them.
Yeah, me too. I remember buying the first issue off the newsstand.
Sandman? That was 74.
Yeah, and so here, and I'm going to repeat this next week, but I'll say it now anyhow, just for the fun of it. That I remember there distinctly being a stack of them in the shop. Just a regular candy store in my neighborhood, not my regular comic book buying place, but it was a different place that had. They were unique in that they had classic comics. So they had a rack of classic comics that you could buy there. And but they had a stack of these Sandman comics. And this whole thing that came out with affidavit fraud and sales and how weird sales were back then. I remember that somebody said that the Sandman issue number 1 came out during a snowstorm. And I remember that. So that was a snowstorm
in New York.
In New York area. Yep. And there were a lot of them for sale. And I think that the reason why there were more issues of the Sandman was because that issue actually sold well, because they didn't go off the back of the truck like all the other Kirby comics or first issues or stuff like that. So I think they had like a blip where it was like, hey, this Sandman thing's, selling like hotcakes. It's like, well, yeah, because it actually went out to the newsstand. But anyhow, I'm going to repeat that story next week. So forgive me. But, we had a bunch of fun. What was it? This February, we had fun night a few nights ago. And we actually covered the Dingbats on Friday with special John Morrow content.
He joined us.
It was great to have John with us to talk about the Dingbats. And then we've covered Atlas and Manhunter, which, that's some bittersweet stuff, right? Because Jack did those great presentation pieces for those 2 books that were like, can we have those comics, please? But we don't. So
it's unfortunate.
Yeah, but there's so many great ideas. Ernie Chan and inked by Mike Royer, I believe. So Ruben, so on Facebook. So that's kind of fun. And then what? Oh yeah, that's right. Wally Wood did ink 1 or 2, I think, of them. And
I only did the first one, but I might be wrong.
Sorry.
I guess we'll find out next week. I'm not sure if he inked. I thought he only inked the first issue, but I might be wrong.
No, Royer inked the first one, but my Wood inked. Oh, I lost Tom. Wood inked the one of the issues that did get published, and then he inked the. He's back. So Wood inked the one of the issues that got published, and then the unpublished issue, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
We'll find out next week. And
yeah, I loved Atlas too, Ruben. It's just so sad.
Yeah. No, both of them. Atlas really was the cool one. But that's it. That's us. It's the Jack Kirby Museum live stream shenanigans. We enjoy doing these things. We'll see you next week for Enter Sandman. Did I really do it? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And you need to get an Echo device.
I'm
going to
press
a button.
Yeah, I'm going to call it that. So it'll be a little title that says Enter Sandman, because that's what you do when you talk about the Sandman. But and who knows what will happen? If we really wanted to do DC, right, we would still have to do In the Days of the Mob 1 and 2, right?
Yep. Right.
We would have to do Spirit World 1 and 2, and then look at all the romance stuff, the Soul Love and the
True Divorce Tales. Yeah.
And then we could do that. It might be fun to just kind of once we get through all the way through Kamandi, and then be like, look what we did. We did it all. You want to, might be a thing, but Kamandi will take a long time, right?
Yeah, 40 issues.
Yeah, that'll take a long.
It'll take, but if we do like 3, 6, 9, if we do it 3 days a week, it probably will take 4 weeks, a month. We could do a month of Kamandi.
Oh my God, the month of Kamandi. You're welcome. We enjoy it. It's fun, and we haven't. I'll admit it, Lynn. But we probably will.
Yeah, I would like to do some Boys Ranch and.
Yeah, Boys Ranch would be fun, stuff. Especially Mother Delilah is one of the stories that Kirby would often cite as one of his favorite stories that he ever did.
We should almost. We should do one of the Golden Age Sandman with Sandman.
Really?
I don't know.
We'll do that Thor. We'll do the Thor one. The villain from Valhalla. Isn't that Sandman?
I don't know.
I believe so.
Okay.
And Boys Ranch would be fun. What's the other one? If you go back on, if you go to our videos and you look at Fun Night from this past Saturday, you'll see us going through Young Romance #1 with Lisa Hoppe and Lois DeLivio. The four of us went through that comic and made commentary about the stories and the content therein, which was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that, actually. I would even do like a whole series
Fighting
of those.
America. Yeah, Fighting America is another one. Yeah.
I'm just saying I would be happy to do romance comics, but that's just me. Because they're funny, and when the woman has a red dress on, it's like another red dress, because there was always a red dress.
They're in trouble when they wear red.
Issues and class consciousness, and all that fun stuff. But I guess we're just kind of vamping a little bit. But anyhow, thank you very much for stopping by. We appreciate your viewership and your support. Please check out our website and our gift shop and buy our wonderful treats. We have pins and T-shirts and posters. This image that's my background, my green screen background. We have a poster of that. It's true. It's 24 by 36 inches.
No,
and it's awesome.
Really?
It's cool. So,
I'm still waiting for mine. I don't have one. I got to buy one.
Really? All right. I'll send you one.
I'll buy one.
You don't have to buy one.
It's cool.
Yep. So we've got some cool merchandise. Become a member. Support us with an annual payment. We have bills to pay. To that helps us with our work.
We have a future plan for the digital archive to go online, and we need money for that.
Yep.
Eventually, it's going to be a lot of money to host it. So
Yep.
all your money will go for good things that you'll enjoy yourself.
Yep. That's right. So we will we welcome your support, and we've been enjoying everybody's support all these years. We've been doing this for like 15 years now. What the heck? Jack Kirby's great, isn't he? What?
You've been doing it for 15 years.
I have.
I've been doing it. Yeah, I've been doing it for 11 years.
Yeah, and then there was that. Yeah, I was doing it, and then there was this guy like, I think it'd be a great idea if you scanned all Jack Kirby artwork. I'm like, all right, let's go.
That was the year after you started.
That's true.
So I was involved from like the beginning.
Yep. All right. Well, I'll say it again. Thanks everybody. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you again soon next week for Sandman. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.